Hi, Room 13. It's me, Miss V, and I'm back with another installment of Kinda Like Brothers. Yay! Okay, so just to remind everybody where we left off last time I did my reading, they had the block party. The guys did their step. It went really well. And then this random dude shows up screaming, "Bring back my kids." And we can kind of infer that this man is Kevin's father. Kevin was very shaken up by it, and now Jarrett is feeling extremely guilty. Okay, so let's get started. Chapter 36. I didn't know how, but after a while, the block party picked back up and everybody started having fun again. Not us, though. Mom was sitting on the curb with Treasure, who had finally calmed down, and I was standing over them, trying not to talk to Kevin because I didn't know what to say to him. I was happy when some of the guys from the basketball team came to get him. They were like, "We gotta put on our uniforms for the slam dunk competition." "I'm not feeling it anymore," Kevin said. "Come on, man," one guy said. "Just forget about what happened." How was he supposed to forget about his own father? "Go on," Mom told him. "Try to have fun. Treasure's okay now." The slam dunk contest was a lot of fun to watch, except for when Kevin got up. Even though he was a good basketball player, you wouldn't know it by how he was playing that day. Every time he got a chance to show off his skills, he made one mistake after another. At first, everybody was clapping for him, trying to make him feel better. But after a while, I heard some kids booing him. Good thing the other guys on the team were a lot better than Kevin. They were doing all kind of moves, showing off for the crowd. By the end, when it was Kevin's last turn, he just passed the ball to the next guy. He gave up. "That was embarrassing," Ennis whispered as we walked away. "Yeah, I know. I feel bad for him." We had to go into the center to help get everything ready for the premiere of our trailer. Inside, Lawrence was already there, setting up the big screen and the projector. "Y'all ready?" he asked us. Now, I just want to remind people who haven't heard Kinda Like Brothers for a while, Jarrett and his friend Ennis were working on a horror film trailer, and this is going to be their chance to show it off. So that's what they're getting ready to set up for. And as you guys know, they've been doing this for a very long time. Planning it, that is. "Yeah," I said. "Can't wait." Ennis wanted to see it one more time, so we stood there watching it on Lawrence's laptop, which had the final version on it, the one with all the titles and sound effects and everything. It was perfect, too. The whole gym was set up for the kids' night open house. On one side of the room, there was artwork everywhere, and on the other side, there was a little stage area with a huge screen behind it. I had to be patient. Oops. Before we got to show our trailer, we had to wait for all the parents to see the artwork, then sit through all the kids' dances and karate demonstrations. Then Lawrence was going to show a video he took of us all summer so the parents could see everything we did and all the fun we had. Then, after all that, it would be showtime for Terror in the Hood. So I waited while all the parents and kids looked at the artwork. My mom was talking to another lady with a baby in a stroller, and Treasure and the other kid were holding hands the whole time. Terrence was there too. He wasn't standing with Mom, but at least he didn't leave. He was laughing with some of the guys from Man Group. It took a while till some kids came over to sit. I looked out as the bleachers started to get crowded, searching for Caprice, but she wasn't there yet. Kevin was sitting all the way on the top row by himself with his head down. He was probably still upset and embarrassed. It took me a while to see that he was looking down at something, but I couldn't see what he was doing. While the dancing and everything else was going on, me and Ennis stood on the side of the bleachers. I didn't know about him, but I was way too nervous and excited to sit down. I didn't think my heart would go back to beating normal till after it was all over. When the dancing and karate were done, Lawrence signaled for the lights to go down. Then he showed the video he made. Every time one of the guys saw themselves on the screen, they were like, "That's me," or "Yo." As for the girls, all I heard were little squeals and giggles when they saw themselves. When the video was done, the kids and adults clapped for so long till Mrs. Prajapati came out to the mic to thank Lawrence for working so hard with the kids. Me and Ennis went over to the laptop to get our video ready to go. I looked out into the audience and Caprice was in the second row sitting next to Nicole. Her mom and dad were there too, sitting right behind her. Lawrence stepped up to the mic and said, "Okay, our final video of the night is something I worked on with two of our aspiring filmmakers, Jarrett Crawford and Ennis Knight. These two young men wrote, produced, directed, and edited this movie trailer by themselves. They put in a lot of hard work and they were very dedicated to making this something special for you all. So sit back and prepare to be scared." Everybody clapped and laughed, but I was only watching Caprice. I knew right after the trailer was done and everybody saw how talented we were, that was when I was gonna do it. Tell her I liked her and ask her to be my girlfriend. Ooh! Lawrence gave the signal to the guy on the other side of the room who was in charge of turning the lights down. And as they were going down, Kevin came running down the bleacher steps. I was too busy getting ready to start the trailer, so I didn't really have time to think about what he was doing. Was he really leaving now, right before it started? But he wasn't leaving. He was heading right toward me, and he was waving something in his hand, but it was too dark to see what it was. It wasn't till he got close enough to me that I could make it out. His phone. "You did it!" he screamed at me, loud enough for everybody around us to hear. "You told him where I was. You told him." He was close enough to me now that I could see his eyes and how mad he was. What are you talking about?" I asked, stepping back. Ennis stepped in between us and said, "Kevin, stop." But Kevin pushed Ennis out of the way and came back at me again. He got right in my face. "You sent a text to Paco, the guy that owns the store downstairs from where I live. It's right here." He pushed me and I hit the table with the laptop on it, but it didn't fall. "You're crazy," I said. But you guys, we already know. Actually, what Kevin's saying is true. Jarrett did send a text message to Paco pretending to be Kevin. So, actually, Kevin's right. Anyway, Kevin pushed a phone in my face. "See right here." On the phone, it said, "Sent messages. This is your text." "How do you know I wrote that?" "Because I know you. I knew you were up to something." That's when Lawrence yelled out, "Can someone put the lights on?" A second later, the lights were back on, and now everybody in the whole audience could see me and Kevin standing there, him staring me down like he wanted to kill me. But I wasn't going to back down, not with everybody watching, not with Caprice sitting about 2 feet away. "I didn't do anything," I said, "so get out of my face." He balled up his fist, and I knew he was going to hit me. But Lawrence and Ennis were there, and before anything could happen, they separated us. A lot of the kids on the bleachers were saying stuff like, "Fight, fight," and "Get him, Jarrett." But Lawrence had pulled me so far away from Kevin, there was no way we could fight. Not that I didn't want to hurt him. I tried to break away from Lawrence, but before I could, Kevin looked me in the eye and knocked the open laptop off the table. Then, while it was on the floor, he stomped on it over and over and over. "Stop!" I screamed, pulling myself away from Lawrence. But before I could reach Kevin, he kicked the broken laptop and shouted, "Now try to show your stupid movie." Then he walked out of the gym. I stood there, looking down at the laptop, the only one with my movie trailer on it. I felt like crying. That's how mad I was. My trailer was ruined, and I was standing in front of a whole audience, so embarrassed, so mad, so I couldn't even think straight. Things were happening around me, but I was just standing there. I heard Terrence tell my mom he was going to go after Kevin. And I saw Lawrence and Ennis on the floor trying to see if they could fix the laptop. Then my mom was next to me, saying, "They're going to fix it, Jared. Don't worry. It's going to be okay." It was hard to focus on what she was saying, though. I looked at Caprice again, and she was looking at me like she was worried. I felt so stupid. The whole thing was like a bad nightmare. All I knew was I had to get away from all these people. I had to get away before I started crying, or before I got so mad I started throwing things and ended up getting in trouble. I didn't know where I was going to go, but I had to get out of there. Whew, my goodness. Well, Jared sure did put himself in a bad situation. I don't think what Kevin did was right, but also Jared kind of set him up, so I can understand why he's mad. It wasn't cool. Both of them are wrong right now. But I feel like that's what always happens in this story. They're both wrong. Kevin does something wrong. Jared does something wrong. What do you think? Was Kevin right to smash Jared's laptop and his movie in it after finding out what he did? Tell me in the comments. Bye.